I'm Greg Siegel. I'm a professor of psychiatry, communication science and disorders, and translational sciences at the University of Pittsburgh.
I'm Kimberly Young. I'm an associate professor of psychiatry at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine.
Just so we're all on the same page on what we're doing here, there is no such thing in psychiatry to date as restorative neuroscience. Every intervention that we have takes somebody from where they are and makes something new that they weren't before. So if you take a medication, you become maybe less depressed, and also your brain doesn't look like it was before you were depressed. With PTSD, we can try and do an intervention, and it does not look exactly like it did before you had some trauma. Part of the reason we have that is because we don't know what people's brains looked like before they had trauma, before they got depressed. So our first innovation here that we're trying is backing up people's brains before something happens to them. We're thinking of this for military, before people go off to war. We're thinking of this for first responders before they have trauma. Ideally, we could use this to back up people's brains when they're in some state they really want to be able to remember and restore. Today is the first time we were actually working on backing up Kim's brain before Kim goes off to surgery, where we know after surgery people come back a little different, and we're going to see if we can restore her to where she was today.
So I've spent the past decade working on neurofeedback, which is another intervention where we try and make people's brains look like what we consider a healthy brain. So again, we're changing their brain to match what we think is healthy, or what we've determined by years of scientific research that we've determined is healthy. But instead, what we really are trying to do with this project is to back up your own brain. So when you are in a positive state, we want to get you back to that positive state. And this is something that no one's ever really done before, and might be a whole new way of delivering interventions to get you back to where you were when you were happy, rather than making you into somebody else, which is what these other therapies seem to do. And so I'm the first patient to go through this. We thought that it would be great to back up my brain before the surgery. And so today I got everything hooked up to me, all the EEG, EMG, all the electrodes, and did a couple tasks, recalled some positive memories, really focused on the positive aspects and how I like to feel, how I want to feel, the really rewarding aspects of those memories, in the hopes that when I come back after surgery and I'm feeling a little down, a little run down, tired, that this will help me feel more like myself and be able to enjoy the things that I used to enjoy.
In terms of what we did today, we assessed a number of things. First thing we put on were electrodes over here that measured your brow furrowing, and over here which measured how much you smile. We then put a whole head of electrodes on your head that measured brain waves. Brain waves let us measure brain states throughout the head with enough density that we can say where in the head they're coming from. Then we measured your vocalization, how fast you were speaking, how loud you were speaking. We measured cardiac parameters. Specifically what we're looking for here is the level of randomness between your heartbeats. We measured your respiration, which is how fast you're breathing. Are you breathing slow, in a controlled way, or breathing very shallowly? The last one we measured was pupil dilation. And the more you're thinking, the more aroused you are, the wider your pupil gets. I do, while we're here, want to mention that we are exceedingly cognizant of the ethical issues associated with this. And the ethical issues are, what if somebody learns something about their life in the time in between and we restore them back? Are we taking away aspects of their lived experience? Another really huge ethical piece of this is that we are setting this up only for restoring one person to themselves. We're really banking on making this personalized. We're banking on your brain overlays your brain well, and something we're really interested in doing is recording people's brains in a medicated state and then seeing if we can restore back to that when they're not on the medication. Because we do see differences on days when people are on versus not on their meds. And wouldn't it be amazing if we could restore the brain state for a psychiatric medication without the body side effects?
But the idea is that we remove the need for the drugs. I only have to come in on the drugs once and have my brain backed up while I'm on the drugs. And then the next time I come back, I don't need the drugs. We can get my brain back to where it was without those physiological side effects.
And if we want to go for the science fiction dream with this, suppose that you take a benzodiazepine. It reduces your anxiety a whole lot, but it also makes it so you can't remember what happened that day, and it screws with your balance. What if we're able to start taking that apart? So I have Kim intensely remember things, get that memory signature, have Kim balance on one foot. She was a dancer, she knows how to do this. And then we get her brain on benzos, and we create a custom profile of what low anxiety but good balance and good memory look like. Can I improve on the drug effect without the drug in the restoration? That is all within the possibility of what we're going for here.
There are a lot of exciting applications that this could have. There's a lot of potential for this, and I'm excited to explore it.
Yeah.